Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Avenger Comic Book Review. We are in an oh-so underused location this time. I don't understand what happened. From 100 to 200 we use this every so often. From 200 to 300 not so often this time. So for those of you who have been with us longer than the past 100 episodes, this is familiar to you. For those of you that haven't, this is a treat. This is something different.
Yep.
We gotta frequent this area more often, I think.
Yeah, maybe. You never know.
So anyway, this is episode 293, which means it's only 7 more episodes to go.
Yep, 7. I am
beginning to not be surprised anymore.
Well, you have to know, when I look for numbers, it could be good and funny. What, I can't make anything funny? You know, a little smiley face.
The books were released when, Horatio?
June 10, 2015.
Second week of June.
Yep, and without further ado, my books first.
Your books first this time. We got a lot of number ones. We got 3 number ones from DC, and I think I have 1 or 2 number ones from Marvel. I'm not too sure. We'll find out, but we are continuing forward with
So let's start off with Red Hood Arsenal, issue number 1. To be honest with you guys, it really focused more on Arsenal than Jason Todd Red Hood. And I like Arsenal's character in this story. Like, you know how before, like, with Red Hood and the Outlaws, he was all wimpy, oh, woe is me? This one, he's actually more of a serious character. He's going after this terrorist group that's making negotiations, and long and behold, here is Red Hood. I'm sorry, Arsenal. I'm thinking Red Hood and the Outlaws. Well, he's Red Arrow, actually, but they call him Arsenal. That stops the terrorists of all this and that. And this old man who was in disguise was Jason Todd, who killed the terrorists with shooting, because we all know Jason Todd's all about killing and not about justice. And that's really about it. They did mention about Starfire. What is it, Starfire?
Yeah.
Yeah. About her, like, just once, and that was it. So, I guess they're going on to their next objective. So, this was a good story. I would say it was pretty interesting. I'll come back for next issue and see how that goes. Hopefully Starfire will make her debut some point.
No, she won't. Not in this book. She's got her own solo book, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
okay, Earth to Society issue number 1. Focused mostly on Dick Grayson from Earth 2. It takes place right after the events, actually, from Convergence, where it's a new world. And, you know, the ships come to the planet. In the end of Convergence, the ships from Earth 2 were leaving Earth 2, and they were coming back now at the end of Convergence to this new world, which is Earth 2.
Or 2.
The second Earth for the...
That would be... Don't hurt
society
now.
Too many 2s. So, they can't land. The landing gear isn't working, so they're crashing into the planet, and it's up to the Justice Society to save them. There are cameos in here from Green Lantern, Power Girl, Huntress makes an appearance, Red Tornado was in one panel, which was sad. Mainly focused around, though, Dick Grayson, and like I said, the moment right after Convergence, and we also get a little bit of, how many months later? A year after the Convergence event. Oh, wow. And it turns out that, we all saw this coming, Dick Grayson is the new Batman. He's chasing after Terry Sloan, because Sloan is wanted for the events of the crashing ships and whatnot, and there's somebody else chasing after Sloan. For our first issue, this cover is very misleading. It really only focused on Dick Grayson chasing Terry Sloan, and it really just set the groundwork for how everybody got back to Earth 2, number 2. For me, this was a weak first issue, and remembering Earth 2, Tom Taylor did an excellent job with Earth 2. Earth 2 Society has a lot to prove still. I will come back for another 2 issues, see how it goes. If things continue in the same route, we drop it. If things get better, obviously I'll be keeping it. So for right now, it's an indecision.
Alright, so as we were talking about Starfire before, I decided to give Starfire issue number 1 a shot. Or actually, he recommended me to try out Starfire. And I really was...
It was an excellent issue, though. You gotta admit
it was an excellent issue, but it was just Starfire who was talking with this agent or whatnot, like basically, Sheriff Gomez, and she wants to be just like what she is, you know, like that does all the work and everything, and to find out about her powers. And then I love how when they go to like every location, like she's like has this thing like, ooh, what's this, what's that, you know, like, because she's from a different planet, she's not really used to Earth, and it's just her just trying to get adapted to everything. Here's some artwork.
There's some really funny moments in the book.
There are funny moments, and she's also looking to live with Sheriff Gomez, and also has a little bit of a love thing. That was actually pretty funny. And they live with their grandmother. Sheriff Gomez lives with the grandmother and whatnot. Or is it the mother? I think it's the mother.
Grandma.
Yeah, the grandmother, yeah, because she was talking about the sheriff, about her parents that passed away and stuff like that. So it was really an excellent issue. And then at the end, there's like a huge storm that's coming where the sheriff was keeping everyone up to date. Starfire in the end says Exhal.
Yeah, that's what she always says.
Yeah, so... Oh, I really didn't notice that.
Yeah.
Because this is the first time I'm reading Starfire, so don't you know...
I liked it. They didn't make her as bad as they made her in.
They did like they made her like more like, ooh, what's this? What's that?
That's the way Starfire is supposed to be.
But all in all, I thought
few people were actually complaining that this wasn't how Starfire originally was. I feel like it's a lot. Not you. I said a few people.
Oh,
a few people.
Well,
You're one person.
I thought you said me.
No. So, I don't know. I felt like it was a nice Starfire issue. It was a good first issue. I'm definitely looking forward to the second one myself, honestly.
Yeah, it was really good, though. I have to admit that. And funny, too.
And before we go into Marvel, Batman Superman issue 21. Batman is presumed dead. Commissioner Gordon's Batman now. Clark is trying to find out who put this hit out on him. Who's targeting him, basically. Because somebody's targeting him. So where does he go? Gotham. And when he gets to Gotham, he's greeted by Commissioner Gordon Batman, who clearly isn't Bruce Batman. And remember, Superman does not have his powers. We still have yet to figure out why. He used the solar flare. I believe Jay mentioned he used it before, but I still don't remember the moment he used it where... maybe it was in the Superman Batman annual. He used it so many times before the new DC universe started over again that I don't know what point in time he used the solar flare, but he used the solar flare somewhere, whether it be Justice League or Superman Batman, whichever annual or whichever book it was, he did it, and now his powers are taking even longer to come back. The more he does it, the more time it takes for his powers to come back. And apparently he did it way too many times. And I think this is a power that Superman didn't need added to his arsenal of superpowers because it's a pain in the butt. But anyway, Superman has a mark on him. And he not only has to fight through villains in Gotham, but he has to deal with people trying to basically take him out. He goes to Lex Luthor. Lex Luthor doesn't believe that Clark Kent's Superman. He's still trying to question it. He doesn't believe it. He kind of pushes himself to believe it, but like I said, they end up in Gotham, and Clark gets a clue. He goes to the Batcave where he was hoping to see Bruce. He didn't. He sees Alfred, and Alfred is actually like, you were his best friend, you were his closest friend, just don't become like him, don't do... the darkness was for him. You were always the light. And he's like, maybe Bruce is gone. If only I knew Alfred wasn't trained to be an actor before he was in the army. So he knew Alfred was probably acting, and he didn't know where Bruce was, but he says, I know you're watching me somewhere, Bruce. And then he reaches out to Lois for 2 panels. It's really great how they're kind of frenemies right now, or Lois is trying to be Clark's friend, but it's not working. And then Clark gets his own motorcycle, and then, of course, Commissioner Gordon Batman shows up again. To be continued. I'm liking how Truth is going. It's just the story arc, the storyline. It's all over the place. There was a reference to this in this book for Action Comics 42, which comes out next month. In Action Comics 41, which came out last week, there was a reference to Superman 41 and Superman 42. So all the books are coming out in different points in time. And the problem is, because it's not from point A to point B, we're jumping all over the world in different points. We need, what would have been better, and I agree with Jay, is we start from the beginning and work our way to where we are now. The fact is, right now, each book is at a different point in time, and because each book is at a different point in time, it gets a little confusing because they're referencing books that haven't come out yet. So we have to wait 2 months or a month before we actually get any answers to some of the questions we're getting in these books. And I'm not going to talk about the, well, it wasn't Greg Pak. Greg Pak writes awesome Superman, if only it was the pre-New 52 Superman. But anyway, there was an interview with John Romita Jr., and I'm not going to talk too much about this. If you want to know how my feelings about that interview we had with something, the Weekly, Entertainment Weekly, or somewhere, I did reference it, and I'm sure Brent put a link in the show notes for Zone 4's episode. It goes up today. We're recording this really late. It's Friday again. I apologize. He said a couple of stupid things about Superman, and it really makes it hard for me. I've been enjoying Superman. I enjoy Batman Superman too. DC really has to work on keeping their writers' mouths shut, or at least censoring certain things they are and aren't allowed to say, because it's what riles the fans up, and it's what kills the book sometimes. Because if I didn't hear from John Romita Jr., I'd be okay with what's going on right now. But because of what he said, now I've got extra thoughts in my head, and I hate that. Spider-Gwen issue 5, this was a really weak issue. And after finding out that this is the last issue, at least until after Secret Wars, which is not going to be over until October, November. We might not be seeing issue 6 till October, November. If they even do issue 6, they might actually start all over from number 1 again. I did the introduction of Felicia Hardy here in this book. It left a lot to be desired. It just didn't feel good. Matt Murdock, I just want to slap this guy from Spider-Gwen's world. He's a real dick. I'm sorry, but that's the best word to describe him as. And I didn't like this issue. It just felt very... If I wasn't already disconnected, which I am from Spider-Gwen, this disconnected me even more. When Spider-Gwen, because we really don't know if she's coming. I mean, it says to be continued, so let's pretend like she is. When Spider-Gwen comes back, the next issue has to wow me, or else I'm probably going to jump off the Spider-Gwen bandwagon. I mean, there are some really great books going on right now, and unfortunately Spider-Gwen is not one of them. I know Silk came out this week.
Yeah, it did. That's all the way...
Yeah, but that's in... Yeah, Michael has his books in order, so... I should have stuck with Silk and gave you Spider-Gwen then, because we had to pick which one we wanted, and I took Spider-Gwen. Yeah. So anyway, in Secret Wars, Michael's going to get out of Secret Wars for one book, obviously. Inhumans, Attilan Rising, issue number 2. They get found out. We get to see Miss Marvel here, Camilla, and she's working for Medusa. She's kind of like a double agent. So while Black Bolt was distracted talking with the agent that walked into the bar at the end of the last issue, Camilla comes in, and she's a shapeshifter, so she's going around looking for extra clues. They don't know if Black Bolt's involved yet with the Unspoken, but they're trying to figure out who is, if Black Bolt is, and who's involved. You know, they want to figure out where their base is, and then Camilla finds out. However, she gets captured, but not before the other agent, who has gigantic ears, hears what's going on in the basement. So they find out that Black Bolt's club is the HQ, but now they're on the run. They're basically trying to run through everything. There was, I forgot what the objective was. See, I read this book first. That's a bad thing when it's been about a week since you've read a book. They keep Camilla as a prisoner. Maybe they'll trade her off later, Black Bolt says. Maybe they'll trade for G-Man, something. So they keep her. And while they're dealing with where was it? New Mars. There was a problem with New Mars. It turns out that Medusa's spy actually did overhear that. They thought that the spy didn't. And she was there and an ambush happened. And in the end, let's just say the voice unheard, or unspoken, I forget what the voice unheard, I was right. They're in big trouble, and looks like Black Bolt is going to be meeting with Medusa really, really soon. This was a really good issue. I really enjoyed it. I would definitely recommend Inhumans. I'm loving a lot of the stuff. There's very few things in Battle World or Secret Wars that I don't like, which is why I don't read this book that Michael doesn't like.
Battle World Star Wars Journal, issue number 2. I'm done with this Secret Wars Journal. It keeps doing, and I know they're going to keep doing this in these issues. Let me do. Like, it has the 2 stories, and one of the stories says, oh, we're done, you're going to have to read it in another book. I don't like that. It talks about these 2 detectives, Paladin and, what's the other one's name? Well, basically, they're both looking for Kraven's coin, and that's their objective because they just want to get it out of people's hands because it's a really huge thing. You're just going to have to read the book about it. And the artwork was good, I'll admit that, for the first story. And they're just looking for this coin. So then this woman, I can't remember what her name was, like she really shows how to get it done rather than Jack, I think his name is, or something. And she goes to Kraven, and Kraven tries to say, why don't you join me? We could, run for the hunt for real money and stuff like that. So she says no. And if you want to see more of Killville, you have to read MODOK Assassin. First of all, I don't want to read MODOK because I hate MODOK, just a character. And second of all, why would I want to read more? You gotta just put in this book. This one made me laugh. This next story, first of all, the artwork was a little meh, like this. And it's about Matt Murdock as Daredevil working in Hell's Kitchen, ironically as a chef, with Elektra or some different name, Elektra or something different of that. And it's just him just making stuff like a chef that's in Hell's Kitchen. And it's I'm looking, I'm like, what am I reading? Because then something happens to Elektra that affects Daredevil or Matt Murdock or whatever they call him in this one, and then that's it. That's the end of the book. What the hell did I just read? I know it doesn't have to relate to Secret Wars, but why do I have to read a book where I have to get another book of something else? And then the other one, it doesn't make sense. No, I have to drop this one because it is just...
You don't want a sampler book.
No, it's not that. It's just that... what am I getting from it? It's just a journal. I just can't read another one.
Spider-Verse issue 2. A lot of people were complaining about the artwork. The artwork for me, I'm okay with it. It's not bad. It's not amazing, but I could take it for this book. I'm enjoying the book for what it is. Gwen saves Spider-Ham. There's something going on with Norman Osborn. I can't put my finger on it, but he thinks there's something going on with the Spider people, and either he wants to help them, or he knows something that nobody else does yet. So it's a huge mystery. So Gwen saves Spider-Ham, and she's actually confronted by Spider-Brit and the other Spider people, Anaya and I forgot what the Indian Spider-Man. And apparently their mission is they're trying to find all the other Spider people. And they're still questioning. They're like, we have memories from other places, but it's just not connecting for some reason. And then they track down another Spider, and it turns out to be Spider-Man Noir, who is working on a case with Tombstone and Carnage. Now, I will say right now, and I agree with Mike Spider-Slayer, this does not look like Carnage. This looks like a lazy man's version of Carnage. A red suit with little things sticking out all over the place. I'm sorry, that's not Carnage. But Noir does show up because he's watching everything from the shadows, and he's actually been avoiding the Spider people. He thinks more. He's more of a detective. He gets clues. He stays in the background until there's nothing left to do but to strike. And then the end of the issue, we get introduced to what looks like the Sinister Six for the Spider-Verse.
Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that is crazy.
So this is going to be interesting. I've been enjoying Spider-Verse for what it's worth. It's a really good book. I would definitely recommend it. If you're a fan of Spider-Gwen and you're not enjoying the book like myself, maybe you'll enjoy Spider-Verse a bit more. Gwen even doesn't feel like she belongs because there's a gravestone for Gwen. And obviously in the Spider-Verse universe, they were jumping from planet to planet or universe to universe. So whichever universe they're in here, it looks like it's the 616 universe. I don't know, but I'm enjoying Spider-Verse. I think it's a really great read, and I would definitely recommend it.
This one, I had to go in with a positive mind. The first issue of Miss Deadpool and the Howling Commandos, issue number 1. Now, this one focuses on more about Mrs. Deadpool. I just can't remember what her name was.
She believes that Dracula killed Deadpool, but what really killed Deadpool was in
the other issues before that. And they're like saying, you know, like they... Basically, Deadpool is just talking about, you know, about how she gets herself into some type of mission in order to bring Deadpool back. And here are, which was weird to me, the Howling Commandos. And I remember the Howling Commandos being from The Punisher, and they were not mutant animals.
Well, they're
monsters. Well, monsters, I should say. Not mutant animals, monsters. So, basically, Lord Dracula... is, you know, with the group of people, and, I can't remember what her name is.
Is it in the very beginning of the book?
Oh, Lady, Shaikla. You know, basically that. And, she's just...
Shikla?
Shikla, yeah. And she's just very mad because of what Lord Dracula did to Deadpool, and she just wants to find out, more things about the cause of, his death and everything. So... what they need to do, what she wants to do is, like, she found the scepter of the Manticore, but the head to something was missing. So, basically, it's more along the lines of looking for something that belongs to the coffin, or however it is. It was, like, a really, really long dialogue of that, and she brings, like, people with her that she's not really... too keen about. So that's really the whole thing. And also Lord Jack is saying just keep an eye on her and make sure she doesn't come back, to blame the surface dwellers of that. So they're going to try and kill her. But I agree with Deadpool. It should be really Miss Deadpool versus the Howling Commandos. So why couldn't it be called that? Because it's and the Howling Commandos. Because something tells me that things are going to get very, very chaotic. But it's good, but if it starts to dwindle like the Deadpool series, then that's going to be a book I'm going to have to get rid of. But it's good, so I'll give it that.
Secret Wars 2099, issue number 2. I'm loving this book. So somebody sends the Specialist to assassinate Captain America in her civilian form. She's in bed, and the Specialist shows up and tries to attack her. And I guess out of instinct, she becomes Captain America. Her body, when she's Roberta, is regular, and then when she's Captain America, she buffs out. So apparently she buffs out. And she gets... The fight goes her way, obviously, and the Specialist kills himself in order to keep the person who sent her, to keep that information from her finding out. She puffs down, obviously, doesn't remember a thing. And it turns out that her husband is a double agent. He is working for Miguel also to make sure that the Captain America Roberta thing they stay separate identities. That Roberta never remembers she's Captain America. And I find that very interesting and definitely an angle for 2099. I'm really interested in examining that more. And I believe in the September solicits, things get to a head with Captain America. But anyway... we do get a name from somebody, and it turns out that this person is also being stalked by somebody else. I'm leaving out all the middle dialogue. There's a lot of stuff that's going on with the team, especially with Black Widow. Check it out. Really cool stuff. But going back to the main story, they find out that the name of the person is Martin Haregood. They go after him, but so does the Hulk from 2099. And at the end of the issue... we get introduced to the people that the Avengers were warned about. Mm-hmm. The Defenders. And Hulk makes pretty quick work of Captain America too, by the way. I'm very interested to see where this is going. Obviously, we're going into a gigantic versus between the Defenders and the Avengers. I I can't wait to see where this goes and how this all plays out. Secret Wars is an absolutely amazing read. Definitely something I would recommend.
Let's see.
And let me see. You have time for.
Okay, Silk issue number 5, and I can just try to sum this up in less than that minute. So basically, Harris is on the loose again, where Silk finds out about. Oh, by the way, they do show some background about her origin story and everything. And I agree with Kat. I like how J. Jonah Jameson actually wants to help her find out about her family's disappearance and whatnot. So that's a really great character I like to see in him. I like the good type of that. So this is actually where she meets up with Harris, and it's about her little girl, or his little girl and everything. And Spider-Man comes to aid and saying that I guess that I'll have to team up with a bad guy to find out where the little girl is. So they both find out where the little girl is, and meanwhile Silk and Black Cat have a little bit of a tango with each other, a little bit of a fight, and there's an explosion, and we don't know who set that off. And then when Silk goes, like when she's knocked down, goes to this facility, somebody knows of that he works for the people that have her family. So we don't know who this person is, but wow, Silk to find out.
Wasn't there a truce between Black Cat and Spider-Man that happened here yet? Was that in this issue?
No, that was no. What they said was that they was trying to be in the other one, the Amazing Spider-Man.
Oh, Spiral, right.
Yeah, Spiral, yeah. That one was when he's like saying, "There's still good in you," and it's like saying, "Well, this doesn't make a difference." Yeah, that was in the other one. Wasn't this one.
My bad.
Yeah, but it's okay. I always get that too. So this one was really good. I really am enjoying Silk, and can't wait to see more that there is to come for it.
Alright guys, so with that, just give us 1 second and we will be right back with the last of these books at the click of a button. Alright, and we're back, and my turn again. Marvel Zombies, issue number 1 with Marvel Zombies versus Ultron.
How is
coming
this?
Out. This was really good. Now, everybody's been saying, you know, the Marvel Zombies and all the evil is kept in the Dead Zone. So what's keeping them inside the Dead Zone? Why aren't they out infecting the entire battle world? Well, we find out in this issue who and what is keeping all the evil inside the Dead Zone, and it's the S.H.I.E.L.D., led by Elsa Bloodstone. They keep guard over the entire Dead Zone and make sure that the dead stay in, and the prisoners stay in, and all the evil that's in the Dead Zone stays in until the Red Terror shows up. And I believe that's, what's his name's father, Nightcrawler's father. She stops him, but he's still barely alive, and he bamfs her about 100 miles into the Dead Zone. And Elsa is a bitch. I'm going to say that right off the bat, but you find out really quickly why. It's all based on her childhood and what her father did to her. And she meets up with this young boy who has absolutely no memory, doesn't know why he's in the Dead Zone, why he was put there, who he is, anything. So she takes him with her. I have a feeling we'll find out more about this boy, obviously, as his memories come back, and let's see how evil and twisted he really is. But besides the point, till then, she uses him as a companion, and they fight off against a couple of really interesting zombies. We get to see the Juggernaut zombie, which was awesome. So Elsa and him, which she calls him Shut Up, she wants to go north, back to the, was it north or east? I want to make sure. I think it was, she was going east and north. No, she was going north, and he said they should go south because going north could lead to trouble, and actually it does. So they end up going south, so they're going deeper into the Dead Zone to try to find a way out.
So they're stuck there. So
she's trapped there, and she has to find a way back to the S.H.I.E.L.D. because apparently there's this huge army of dead that are about to attack the S.H.I.E.L.D. Really good book. I wasn't expecting to like this. I'm glad that it doesn't focus on the zombies. It really focuses on Elsa Bloodstone and how they're keeping the Dead Zone in check. And now she's trapped there, and how is she going to get out? And what's the mystery behind this amnesia boy? Going to be really interesting. I'm definitely holding on to this. We'll see if I keep Marvel Zombies versus Age of Ultron when that comes out. I believe it comes out in 2 weeks. Not this, the next episode, the following one. It will be coming out.
Okay, my last book for this week, The Inferno, or is it Inferno?
No, Inferno.
Oh, Inferno? Okay, I thought it was the... Inferno issue number 2. And in this comic, this actually picked up more than the first issue. Like, in this issue, it was more along the lines of Colossus going up against Maddie, who is the clone of Jean Grey, and they're just challenging him to see if he's worthy to get assistance from Maddie. And he was put through like hell and back, but Colossus shows business and stuff like that. And then we get Domino, who makes friends with this little goblin boy or something like that. I thought that was actually pretty funny. Meanwhile, we have a little bit of a Nightcrawler and what happened there. I'm not going to give it away. You're going to definitely have to read the book, but it doesn't look very great for him. And we have a long dialogue, and just to keep it short, Maddie, Colossus wants to help his sister break out of this. So Maddie says, I will assist you with using the Soul Blade, only if in return, when you dethrone her, I get the throne in the end, Maddie. Because Maddie wants to dethrone Elia to get her throne. And the only way to do that is to use the Soul Sword. So, as that's going on, he's just fighting off against all the other demons just to save her sister. But things are going to be very, very dragon-esque that's going on. And you're going to have to just read the issue to find out who that dragon is, because I know who it is, and it's... Wow. It's really amazing. That got definitely best rating for this week.
I love this book, and this is basically Brian Michael Bendis' swan song, the end of the Marvel Ultimate Universe, Ultimate End issue number 2, and it opens up with the Thors showing up. They showed up in the last issue, and they basically passed Doom's Law. Basically, Doom knows what Ultimate Tony Stark did, and Doom does not want them to attempt to fix it. That now they have to live with what they've done. So basically, Ultimate and 616 have to live with both versions of themselves under one dome, under one wall, under one existence or part of Battle World. And they're like, but we can fix this, we can do right. And they're like, no, Doom says that you'll possibly make it worse, so no, you're not allowed, and that's it, and do not challenge this. And Hawkeye does. And we get to see, spoiler alert, the end of the Ultimate Hawkeye. He's destroyed. And the Thors leave. There's an awesome scene between the two Tonys where they're still going to try to figure out what happened and try to reverse it. And there's another really great scene with Peter Parker being in the Ultimate...
May knows that he's...
Ultimate Aunt May and Ultimate Gwen Stacy house. He's spending time with the Ultimate Parker family. And they don't reference that the other Peter Parker came back. So that's kind of weird, but it was a great moment. Again, you know, them just enjoying that Pete's there, and they're like, so now what? And then we go to the Punisher, who apparently is in jail.
Whoa,
I don't know. I think it's the Ultimate Punisher. I think it's the Ultimate Punisher, because the other Punisher was not in jail by the end of the Punisher.
Yeah, because you can't get that guy in jail at all.
And then the Grey Hulk shows up. Artwork is amazing, by the way. I love, love, love Mark Bagley's artwork. You cannot top it. Well, there are other artists that are equal, but Mark Bagley's artwork for the Ultimate book is always amazing. And it turns out there's a huge fight between the Grey Hulk and the Red Hulk. Avengers assemble, and the Avengers are going to stop the Hulk.
You mean the Green Hulk?
Green Hulk, sorry. Green Hulk and Grey Hulk are fighting each other, fighting the robots, fighting everything. So Avengers assemble, Ultimate and regular, and they're off to try to stop the two Hulks. And spoiler alert, I guess it's minor spoiler alert, I don't know if it's going to matter, the Ultimate Punisher or the Punisher escapes jail.
Well, who didn't see that coming?
This was a really good book. I liked it. There were little hiccups here and there, but again, some things just aren't being referenced, I think. I don't think that they're forgotten, or that the writer, Brian Michael Bendis, forgot about it. Obviously, he's been writing Ultimate Spider-Man especially all along. I think it was just, it's not meant for this book kind of thing. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But anyway, that's it for this review, guys. I'm sorry this was late. This was my week off. I had these books read by Tuesday. It was just the nights were very hard to find a night
And the
to
weather
record.
too this week was
The weather was horrible. So I'm trying, I mean, we are trying our hardest to get the reviews back on time. We need them to be back on time, especially once 300 comes. We have 7 more episodes before that. So hopefully within the next couple of episodes, episode 94 or 95, we'll have things back up to date. This way we'll be able to push forward with 300, and this is another reason why I think the new direction of this channel after 300 or maybe 302, because I'll still be doing summer work.
right.
The new direction will be good. I am planning, since I did not do the live, we will not be doing the live show tonight because obviously as we're recording this it's about 9:15. So obviously by the time we get upstairs, by the time we clean up and we get settled in, we're not going to want to do a live show. I've already mentioned on Twitter that we were not doing a live show this
However,
week.
there will be a live show on Comic Frontline.
Yes, Monday.
Monday.
This Monday, instead of Tuesday, we are going to be doing our Frontline Live. We'll be interviewing Patrick Shand about his book that just came out, Family Pets. And after that, we will be doing the top 5. Yes. Provided we get our books on time, because today's Friday, only my books came. His books did not.
Of course,
but his books were shipped the day after mine, so his books should show up by tomorrow. If not, we'll see.
It never gets old.
It never gets old. We won't even start talking about other things.
Yeah, but
anyway, there is another video. I know I promised you guys last week that there would be a special video.
Oh.
It's been very hard to record. I mean, I really, for this video, I didn't want to do it in a regular location. I really was pushing for it to be in somewhere else. Unfortunately, the weather has not been permitting me to. So if by tomorrow, Saturday, the weather is not good, I'm going to just record it in a normal spot, and I'll apologize in the video for A, it taking so long, and B, that it wasn't in what I mean, the weather just has not been on our side this week. It was a really bad week.
It's been making us and people tired,
You can say that again. No, it's been a very busy week.
Well, for me, I don't know about you, but for me,
I will say this. There's a huge triple bum that's going to go on. There's going to be 3 big bangs, possible 4th. The 4th will be the first one if this big bang happens, and that'll be in July. The next one is 300. The one after that is post-summer, and then the one after that, obviously, is my book, which I'm working tirelessly on to make sure that issue 1 is out. Target was August. I think the Target's moving to September, just so that I have extra time. It might be an oversized first issue, because there's a bit of an origin. It is an origin first issue, so we'll see. We'll talk about this later. Anyway, till next time, everybody, don't forget to check out Comic Related, Comic Frontline, Zone 4 Podcast, and Frontline Gaming Zone. Together we are your #1 source for comic-related news, reviews, and a whole bunch more. And until next time, take care, keep reading, keep collecting, and we'll see you guys really soon, hopefully tomorrow in the weekly comic book call. But if not, we'll see you guys really soon in the next video.
Later, everybody.